Okay, so we'll be going through a little bit certification part, people who didn't complete. So before that, does anyone have any questions so far? The whole what we've gone through various syllabus, right? Various testing. Anyone have any questions?
Excuse me, Manu.
Yeah.
For interview point of view, how we can prepare and what are the portion is very important and repeated questions from the portions or something like that. Just now need some idea, but
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. So you know, normally you're supposed to have this, mock interview with me. Normally you will be, and not just me, there's a lot of people who will be taking. But what happens, right? In interview, it's completely different. Okay, so giving an interview is one thing, and doing work is okay. It's a different altogether. So here, what you have learned so far, in this class, QA, the QA perspective, you only learn how to do work, right? If you have any issues, you have coordinate and all those things. But giving an interview is completely different thing. What I would see is if I'm taking an interview, what I'll be looking at it is um, the way of representation. Okay, I technical thing is like I completely that's a different thing. Like I'll not just look first thing then. I'll be looking at the way of representation. Okay, the first thing. That means how are you representing yourself. Okay. The second thing what I'll be looking at confidence level. So if you're giving some answers, some answer now and you're just backing up in the next moment and saying no, not this, you know that is a confidence, so you're not confident. Okay, that's an important thing, this confidence. And third thing is you have to maintain the fluency. Okay, the fluency in sense, a lot of people come to for an interview and completely looks like they're looking at this somewhere and saying the interview. It completely looks for me. Maybe they're not. Okay, maybe they're not looking. So they might be, you know, um, they might only coming up their own answers, but that's the fluency. Okay, you want to improve your fluency. This is the three more important things. Then I will be looking for technical. So this is the first thing is representation. How you represent yourself. If you don't know some answer, how are you making up? Okay, so this is the first thing what when you're giving an interview. Okay. But as you said, right? Somebody said like, what are the questions, right? Interview questions. So yes, that is coming back to that. You can go through this FAQ. You have this FAQ. So few of them. Okay. So see, if you want like the whole thing, Rally, Agile, Jira, okay. So those things, maybe you could look at those videos, okay. Maybe you can go to that. See here. Okay. So for that reason, I have put all this here, right? Maybe you want to go through that and try to understand and see if you have any specific questions in that, okay? Because we have gone through this Rally, HPAM also we have gone, right? Jira, so we have gone through all this. So the process remains same, okay? So you want to only understand, the things are almost clear, right? The only thing you may not able to understand is some, specific thing, which is how to create and how to delete or how to move all those things. So if you want anything related to the whole topic, you want to see this, recordings here. Okay, if you're not able to hear, you might want to see better audio quality. Okay, and I know you can go because that is that takes a lot of time. And Okay, so you want to go through here, and then if you have any specific questions, you can come back to me. Okay, just like someone, a lot of people come with specific questions, right? I answer them or call them. Okay, this is so you might want to do the same thing. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to your questions. So here, if you are, this is already there in syllabus, right? When I said a syllabus, so you can see here. Okay, and you can see here a few of these interview questions. Some of them we know, some of them we don't. Okay, you can see here, and you just want to understand. Okay, you don't have to something which uh, you don't want to like completely go into this, but try to understand the meaning and represent on your own words. Okay, you can represent on your own words, such that it has to be the same definition or something. Okay, you can represent your own words, but make sure it is professional. Okay, the way you represent should be professional. So you can just try to understand it. That's it. I mean, it's okay, and that is one. And then you have. So this is more for database related. Okay, so few of them are here. Okay, so you can go ahead and look for the interview questions if you are looking for interview questions. Okay, but if you are giving an interview, make sure you are having this. Okay, you have to make sure you're preparing well. Okay, the representation, how you represent yourself professionally. Okay, not just no, I don't know, no, I don't. So you don't want to do that. Okay, you want to be professional when you're saying that. Okay, so the representation is very important. Then you're confident. How confident are you giving an answer? Even if you're giving a wrong answer, don't know, because it might be happening in your team. Okay, it might be. Okay, so sometimes it might be a wrong answer too. So it's kind of not wrong or right answer. It's kind of how you explain yourself. Okay, that's important. Confidence. Then third thing is okay. So third thing is maybe I'll send an email to whoever is coming back to me. Whoever is coming back to me, right? So I'll send have list. How to uh, you know you have to prepare for yourself. And then yeah, last is technical. Then you have to be really good at technical. Okay, answering it. So any more questions? Okay, so let's go to um, certifications. People who have completed certification, that's good. Few people already have some ISQB certification. Okay, that's good. And few of them has completed. Okay, some of them has completed, right? So that's good. But not all. So not, I don't think everyone has completed. Or maybe you send me. Okay, that's fine. So let's see here. Let's go to how this. So so somebody asked a question, right? How this certification helps? Okay, that's a very good question. So let's see here. Okay, so somebody had this certification, right? SQB. This is good. I mean, this is really okay. This is really good. Okay, so but the thing is, not at this point of time. Maybe it's really not a very good idea to have this. So why we need this certification, right? So what happens, right? Whenever there's a lot of resumes. You um, get a lot of resumes. Okay, and the company. gets like 10 to 15 resumes, and in that they will select only 5. They will just look into it resume which is good, which skills you're having, all those things. They will look. They'll select 5 resumes. Okay. Now, if they are selecting these 5 resumes, they are looking into really why they have to hire you, right? What really skills you have this to hire you. A lot of people, there's like 20 to 30 people resumes, and only 5 get selected. Okay. Now, they'll be looking at a lot of things. Okay, what knowledge you have in this, and what kind of project they are working in, how it works with your experience with those projects. Okay, so a lot of things. If you have this certification, okay, what happens, right? If you put a resume, that means okay, you are really qualified. Okay, that means some. Let's say you put in software testing. That means you know something about software testing. Okay, you have like certificate. Okay, yeah, it's good if you have a better certificate like ISQB. That's good. That's really good. But to start with, okay, you want to do this because once they'll see, okay, you said that you're certified. Yeah, you know what? This is my certificate, and I've got from Microsoft. It's from MBA. Okay, so that's what it gives an cutting edge for your interview. Does it make sense? So it may help you, but I won't say like it will always help you. It's not just only one thing. You need to have so many things other than that. But the only thing is, it might help you, for moving forward. Yes, you have to, get better certification. Okay, maybe you get Oracle certified, Microsoft certified, and all those things. You can have it, but to start with, okay, you're just starting, right? Yes, few people are really experienced, that's fine, but people who are starting, they have to get some idea, right? Get some small certificates. No, it's from Microsoft too. It's not like any other company. It's a Microsoft too. See, so it's really part of them. Okay, so it's not like really different. You can start with this. Okay. So that's the reason you want to have this certification. Okay, so let's see here. Does it make sense? Any questions in this? So it actually gives you an edge for an interview. That means it's says that yes, you're certified, and who is the certificate? You know what? This is my certificate. This is my hard copy. And you can also do that. You can take your certificate with your resume saying that what, I am software testing. I've completed my course, and I got this certificate. Pretty much certified in software testing. Okay, from MBA, from Microsoft. So okay, so here once you go here, okay, so you want to sign in. Okay, so you will need to have this Microsoft email ID. Once you have that one, okay, you sign once you sign it, and your software testing. You can also go for development if you want. Can try with that too. And moving forward, okay, moving forward, you can also do that. So once you get that, okay. So this is the thing, and you see here ratings. That means it's rated like 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. Okay. Then I will see 4, 4 or 5. 5 it's really rare to get, but 4 will be there. Okay, 4.5, but the 3.5 is okay. Maybe you can. Okay, so maybe you can work on this one. Okay, and what you have here is you have like 6 modules. They have the 6 modules. Okay, um, and for each module you have this video. Okay, once you have completed this video, you will have this assessment. Okay, this is the assessment, and you have to answer at least 4 out of 5. Okay, so once you've completed all this, right? And you get and you don't have to go anywhere. You just sit here, sit online and just put it here, and that should be good. You're not really leaving a house or something. Whenever you're free, you can do it. So once you have done it, completed all this and completed this assessment, okay, and go to the dashboard. So once you have done this and you know dashboard and go for accomplishment, and here you can see your certificate. Okay, and let's see here. So this is how you will get a certificate. Okay, so it means good for putting your resume. Say that. Okay. Um, okay, and also you'll be getting a transcript. You can download this transcript too. So transcript is sometimes useful if you're you're going to school, and they might give you a few credits based on this what courses you have completed and all those things, right? Based on this, they might give your few of your credits if you're going to the school. Not all of the schools, but few of the schools in US, they will give you a few of the credits because you already completed some of this course. Okay, that might be useful for the transcript. So okay, so this is one option. Okay, so this is one option. And the second is what you can do is there's one more actually. So let's see here. Okay, so here we'll just go to here in solar load. So this is limited actually. You don't have all these courses, but you have a lot of courses. Let's see. Here you have this C++, you can go to JavaScript, and you can use Ruby, Swift. So there's not many. Okay, maybe you can start with SQL fundamentals. Actually, you can go with SQL and try to see if you can complete it. Okay. Now the problem with MBA, the problem is here, whatever there's a lot of things. Okay, in this MBA you have a lot of things. You can also go for any ETL tool, but the only problem is they will be having only Microsoft tools. Okay, whatever ETL tool Microsoft has, SSIS, so they will not have any kind of Informatica, or they will not have data stage, okay, anything like that. They will only be having SSIS, okay. If you are using any reporting, if you want to see any reporting tool, then of course they will be also having that, but that will be again will be SSRS, okay. Not any business objects, not anything else, okay. So okay, so whatever the courses, so they will be having a lot of things here, but only thing which is Microsoft related. Okay, they don't do other than that. Okay, so that's the only thing with Microsoft. Here you have limited, but maybe you can go through SQL. See if you can complete the SQL. If you have any interest with um, other programming, like if you want to go into programming, you can also try. Okay, you can also do that one. So if you once you completed, right? So you again get a certificate in this, and let's see here. So this is how you can get a certificate in this. And this has number, certificate number. Okay, so maybe maybe don't have this option to validate here, but yeah, that's going to have some number here. So you know, okay, and all these are free. Okay, so they are not paying anything for now. Okay, they're not paying anything. But once you get it, project, good project, you're in good, good position. In that case, you can move forward with other certifications. But to start with, this may be, an option. Okay, so that is the second one, and you have one more. Um, you have Sailor. Okay, so this is pretty advanced. Okay, it's for experts. People who are. So the reason because we have a lot of to do in this. Okay, there's a lot of things you have to sign up for this too. Okay, but the problem with this is if you are failed at first attempt, you have to wait for 7 days. Okay, so they have like 7 days to wait. Okay, you cannot do instantly. But other Microsoft and others, SolarLearn that will help you instantly. Okay, you can do it instant. But in this, if you fail something in between, okay, you have to wait for 7 days. So that's what that was 1 year back, but um, not sure how it works, but mostly it will be the similar. Okay, so and this is let's go again. And this has a lot more things to do here. This not only just covers the testing, but the whole the whole process of this software. Okay, so let's see here. So here you have this introduction to software engineering. This kind of introduction which take 13 hours. That means there will be a video or assessment for that will last for 13 hours. Maybe you can stop and maybe you can continue next day. You can do that too. Then you have SDLC models. That last for 9 hours, and software modeling, which is done by business analyst. Okay, and so UML diagrams and all those things, that is for 4 hours. And requirement gathering again is from business analyst or product owner, 5 hours. And requirement analysis, okay, again this can be as part of architect guy, and so this is that consists of 7 hours. And software design, again software design is from architect. They will be designing, so that will be having 14 hours. And implementation programming. So this again, this comes in a software testing. So this covers pretty much complete process of your whole software. And it also includes project management. That means Scrum Master is also in. So once you complete all this, okay, you get a certificate. So this is pretty big, okay? This is challenging, okay? Because if you're really an expert and you know what you're doing, you can do this. Other than that, you can do only MBA, and that should be good, okay? This, and once you've completed, and get this certificate actually. You have this verification ID, right? You can also verify that online the authenticity of the certificate is good or not. Okay, so this is yeah, this is again, this is free. Okay, this is free. There's nothing to pay here, anything to anyone. Okay, so and this should be good if you're starting with. Yeah. Have to complete this. Once you complete all this, then only you get the certificate. Okay, so any questions so far? So let's see here. So we have discussed the Scrum, right? Let's so overview. Okay, so somebody asked a question, right? Overview of ETL testing, end-to-end testing, web service. So this is a lot. Okay, this is a lot for anyone to understand at the beginning. Okay, this is that's too much actually. Because you will see mostly you will not be doing all of this at one time. Okay, now sure to see this ETL testing. So ETL testing. Here's the thing overview. What I can give overview for ETL testing is what you need to know. What you need to know is you need to know the SQL. That for that you need to know at least one tool, that is Toad or SQL Developer. SQL Developer is good to start. Okay, SQL Developer, and you have to. On most of the time, ETL testing you will be only using select queries, no deletes, no nothing. Okay, no manipulation of data, no nothing, only select. Now, all of the time you'll be using select. Then you'll be using another tool, that is Unix. That is for files, because all these Informatica jobs, right? Those are put on the Unix server, okay, not in Windows or not Mac. Okay, they are in the Unix servers. So what happens is you have to also know Unix, because all the files which are generated will be in the Unix. So in that case, what you want to do is you want to know this Unix and know some of the commands so that you can perform a few operations of files, like moving file, deleting a file, and you don't delete, so don't worry. Copying a file, okay. Actually, I was hoping to give the Unix access too, but okay, we'll see this. Okay, if anyone is interested in Unix access, maybe you know what, I can give the Unix access too. Okay, I have this Unix access, so okay. Okay, you can use that for file manipulation, moving your file, sometimes editing the file, okay, so sometimes that's what will require. So that is two, okay. So you know the SQL, you know this Unix, and that's the most important. One thing you want to also know is some part in reporting, okay, reporting, that's the end part of ETL, but but that's when the cubes are generated and the reporting tools show up, you get this report, okay. You have this lot of report, dashboard, Mastercard, score detail, okay. Those reports, and you want to test that reports, write a SQL query at the back end and see that report matches with this or not. So that's pretty much on the ETL history. Oh, you know what? Yes, let's see here. Let's show about ETL pretty quick here. Maybe you guys have known this. Let's show. Okay, great. So this is overview of ETL testing. Okay, this is overview of ETL testing. Okay, so let me explain this. Okay, somebody asked that overview of ETL testing, right? So that's the reason I'm explaining it. So it might be helpful to most of people, because some of those are also ETL, right? So I hope it will be useful for you. Okay. So here, so whenever happens is most of the ETL projects, what happens is you get a lot of files. Okay, these are not just files. It might be database too. Okay, so this is the source. Okay, this is the source. It can be a .NET application, okay, whatever the sources are, right? We are not really worried on sources, but there are sources, okay? And this is a DB2. DB2 is a database, IBM database, okay? And then you have the CSV file. So there's a lot of things, right? That means the source can be in TBs of information, TBs of number. It means more than that, okay? Now, this is a source, okay? What happens is, now company wants to make it, you want staging area here. Why do we need staging area? Because a lot of things, we don't want to query in, database which is TBs of information and which hampers the performance of the system, okay? Just because of your small query, that whole system might blown up. So what they want to do, no, we don't want complete access to the source, a lot of things. Just put the whole data in the staging. So that's the reason you put information only required for your testing. They'll put all data in the staging. Okay, and what happens is next you'll be the whole. So here you'll be doing some part. Okay, data profiling. Use different tools here. Okay, not in staging. Okay, so you have data profiling, you have this data profiling option where you'll be using different tools, okay? Not you, I mean, there's a lot of teams who will be working with, so there will be people, you'll be working with them and see how figure it out, how to do that, okay? So all those things. So once, after the staging area, right? Once you put the staging area, now this is where we come, right? ETL process. So here what happens is use a tool. Use a different tool, okay? Like Informatica. Informatica is different. Or SSIS. SSIS is from Microsoft. DataStage. DataStage is from IBM. Not all of these things in one. It's just to explain that you be using all these tools, but not necessarily all this in one. Only one tool is enough. Like Informatica, that's fine. Or Ab Initio, okay? Any one of them, okay? Ab Initio. So I use a tool here to modify your data. Okay, you'll be doing a lot of data scrubbing, data morphing, data cleansing, a lot of things. Okay, developer will be doing a lot of things. This data, there is a lot of data which has to be cleaned. Okay, which has to be organized. So all this was taken care by the developer. Okay, so once they have done that, then this moves in the landing zone. Okay, this is kind of. So again, you'll be having this environments, okay? You'll be working on only on testing environment, okay? So this will be again in testing environment. Everything you're doing in testing. Nothing might work in development sometimes, because they have some access, you don't have some, so you might be working, but all things will be done in the testing. Okay, once it's done in the landing zone, this is what you have tested. Okay, this is what it's done. But it's target database. It's kind of target database, and then what happens is reporting. Okay, then you report it. This is called ODS. You can go for operational data source. Okay, and then what happens is business guys, they come up saying that they told the business, no, this is not enough. Okay, business needs more specific information, more detailed information, and this information doesn't help. Okay, we need more detailed information, and we have to do a lot of work. So they do again the transformation. What we have done here, transformation, they'll be doing again here. But in this case, we are also pulling out some more data which is required from source. Here it's not there, but they might pull up some information if it's required. Okay, some whatever it is required. Okay, not all of them, few of them which is required, and then they transform the data. Okay, and they put into here. Oops, sorry. Here. Okay, so here this is specifically data mart. Okay, that means one particular module in the database. Okay, you have this house, you have different rooms in a house, so it's kind of data mart. The rooms are kind of data mart, right? There are 3-4 rooms, okay, 3-4, data mart, right? So that's how the data mart, okay. So, for it, once they have done the data mart, they will create OLAP cubes from that. Okay, OLAP cubes is created by those reporting people. Okay, they do reports and then report is generated. So this is pretty much overview of any ETL project. Okay, you can explain this for any ETL. It can be a migration project. It can be a new, it can be a new project, or it can be any ETL project. Okay, take any ETL project. This is, you can explain. So this is the explanation for ETL. Okay. A lot of people will be involved here. Okay, so not just one or two. And what you have is, so here, we didn't never talk about this job scheduling. So we have this Autosys, Control M, Maestro. These are the various tools. Okay, anyone is good. It's not really all of them. Only anyone is good. Anyone you can use. Okay, and why do we really require this? One of the examples. I will be giving you one example. There's a lot more use of this. One example is, you want to move the data from dev environment to test environment, and from test environment to production environment. Then you will be using job scheduling tool. Okay, that's one example. One of the example. It's not just only for that. It has many other long purposes, but one of the example is to move your data, okay, from one environment to another environment. You want to use this tool, because you cannot use this copy paste or something. You're copying into different server, and that comes under TBs of data. There's nothing like copy paste. Okay, so there's a professional tool to make sure. So again, there's a lot more in that. In that, you use shell scripts. That what does shell scripts does is that triggers the let's say the Informatica flow or something, which ETL tool you're using, that triggers it and that runs the job, and that does the whole job to moving from one environment to the other. Okay, so that is pretty much about this is about this ETL overall. Oh, okay. Here you have this reporting tools. I forgot about this reporting tools. So here you have this business objects, Cognos, business objects is from SAP Technologies, okay, and Cognos is from IBM, SSRS is from Microsoft, SSAS, OBIE is from Oracle. So these are all our reporting tools. So you will be using only one of them, and not all of them. Okay. So sometimes how it happens in the reports is, right, you get the reports, and you have to validate those graphs, and you want to write a SQL query to make sure that value of the graph is correct. So you want to write a pretty big SQL there, and and then validate that graph is showing up correctly or not. So that's reporting is like a little bit more complex, because you have, so if you are doing some report testing or something, okay, that means you already have experience with ETL testing. You cannot jump right away with report testing and you won't know about ETL. So that is not possible. It's like, you jumping into the ETL if you don't know QA. If you know QA, you know this front end, back end, front application, kind application, then only you will be understanding ETL. Okay, this is QA is the basic of ETL, because in ETL also you'll be telling a lot of QA work to do. Okay, and here, so again, we got to this idea of talk about this lot of bug tracking tools. We have now see this. Okay, so yes, see here you'll be using WinSCP. WinSCP is actually a tool for Unix. Okay, if you want to move your files, it was much more easy to move in WinSCP. Okay, Then is Toad. Toad is actually tool for Oracle application developer. It's a SQL. When you write the SQL, you use this, or you can use SQL developer too. Okay, so so that's pretty much. And here, if you see here, there are a lot of people who is involved in ETL. There are something data analyst, ETL developer, ETL tester. That will be, if you're going as ETL tester, you'll be there. And a BI tester is much more advanced. If you know ETL, then you can do BI. Okay, that's how it is. And the database modeler, data architect. This is data architect. Again, this is specific to the data. Again, there are a lot of architect too. Then BI developer, project manager or scrum master, business analyst or product owner, system architect. Okay, again, this system architect. Okay, a lot of people will be there here. And these are the few reports we can test, drill down, group list, scorecard. Okay, so let's see here. There are different databases too. Maybe a few of them you might have been familiar. Here's SQL Server, Netezza, Oracle, DB2, Space, Teradata. Okay, so this is pretty much about ETL. It's not ETL testing. This is about the project overview. So that means, whatever project you're doing, wherever project you are working on, any ETL project, okay, any ETL project, this will be similar, okay, a similar process. Okay, they might have this more, okay, they might have, they might have more sources here, or the sources might be something else, okay, but these concepts, ETL, landing zone or targets, sometimes you don't even have this, you might have all this, or only this, okay, but this remains similar. Process remains similar in all the projects. Doesn't matter, it's a migration project. Migration project, that means, you'll be having some one more database, the source, which is actually, they are migrating from the source and they're putting into target. Okay, so any project, this is the process. So this is about overview of ETL. Any questions? No, I'm not taking ETL class. Okay, somebody asked it. I'm not taking ETL class. Somebody asked the question, right? Overview of ETL testing. Okay, somebody asked the question overview. That's why I was explaining this one. So maybe it might be helpful for you. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, so we are actually in the end of this. So just wanted to explain this one. Okay. So one more can give E2E testing is end-to-end testing. Okay, end-to-end testing from one end to end, that includes ETL testing, QA testing, all black box testing, everything is included. That's called E2E testing. Okay, so web services testing. That's a very good question. SharePoint. Okay, somebody said SharePoint. SharePoint is we already done Confluence. Okay. We have already done Confluence, so that should be good. The SharePoint will be similar. It's kind of Rally, Jira, HPLM, right? Process. It's a different company, same process. Okay, so March 26th. March 26th. No, from March 26th, I will be taking. I'm just giving an introduction. Just somebody asked to give me an ETL testing, so that's the reason I'm explaining. Might be helpful for you. So. Okay, it's not really not my job. Mine is QA, but just trying to somebody asked it, so I'm just trying to explain it. It's not my job. Okay, I can say the same thing. When your developer says, "Not my job," so that's what I'm saying. Okay.
No, no, Manu. Actually, I just got from IT America. So for the ETL class, just for the curious, I'm asking. Are you taking the ETL class in the future?
No, I'm not sure. Okay, in future, I'm not sure. Okay, at this point of time, I have no idea on that. So because that has to come from management perspective. So future, I'm not exactly sure, but somebody asked it, so that's the reason I'm just explaining. So that's it. Okay. So can we have some more time? We can. So how long? Okay, somebody asked it. How long will we be having access to Rally, Jira, and ALM? I'm not exactly sure about ALM. Okay, need to check with the Tego, but Rally and Jira is you have access until the company is there or company removes the access because it's directly from the company. So I guess you're good 1 month. I think it will be good with 1 month, right? It still will be there from more than 1 month, but it will be there from. It's been from 1 year, so nothing happened. But we never know. Something might happen, right? So yes, we might have more than 1 month. Okay, so one more option somebody is saying, okay, web services testing. So that's a very good question actually. Somebody asked how to do web services. Now, here's the thing, there might be some requirements, like they'll say QA, they'll say QA testing, and they will make you to do web services, okay? I mean, that's a very good question actually. Somebody asked it, web services testing, how do you do? Now, they will take interview in all perspective as a QA point of view, okay, do you know front end, do you know back end, all those things, and various applications, that's fine. So, but they'll make you to test web services. So that's also QA part, okay? That's also QA part, okay? Let's close this. So, actually, that's good. Okay, great. You know what? We are just in like, okay. Here, if you see this, so you want to use a tool for web services testing. Okay, SOAP UI is one of the tool. It's, oops, this is so small. Okay, so we'll just go here. So to do web services testing, you need a tool. Okay. So just not one tool. We might use a lot of more things. Okay. Okay. So let's take an example. Okay, here, if you are doing web services testing, okay, that's QA2. Okay, that's QA2. So okay. So what happens? Let's take an example. IVR. So this is interactive voice response. Okay, we have already discussed this before, right? It's interactive voice response. So what happens is, okay, here you go. So here, let's say when you call some company, it's a Bank of America, right? You're calling some company, and this customer care doesn't come soon, right? You first need to, um, you have to go put your name, put your address, put your SSN number, and all those things. Okay, so this is what you need to know is you'll be having wisdom. Okay, there's a wisdom. This is where you put actually wisdom. Wisdom is a web services description language. Okay, that's kind of URL. Just like we have this lot of URL, for application, web application, right? Similarly, you'll be having similar URL, but the only difference is you will be putting in this SOAP UI. Okay, this SOAP UI means simple object access protocol user interface. Okay, so here let's see here. This is the interface of SOAP UI. This is used for web services testing. Okay, part of the QA. Okay, that's good. So here, if you put this, and these are the project, and you want to add your, wisdom. Once you add this, this is good. What happens is this gets generated. Okay, this is a request. Okay, this is a request. This is an XML format, right? This is XML format. And if you see here, this is our, your address, phone number, city, phone numbers, all those things, right? You see a lot of information here. Okay, so this is an XML format, and this is get generated. So what you do is, once you put in this Wisdo, okay, you run this. Okay, now once you run this, what you get is, the response. So let's see here. So this is the response you get. Okay, so this is the response. What happens is, when you run this, this goes to the servers. Okay, it goes to the server, and the server communicates with the server, and the result shows here. So this can be failed too. Okay, if this gets failed, now you need to open the defect. Okay, check with your lead saying that, hey, you know what, this got failed. This got failed for some reason. Now they have to, first you need to see the logs and see what's happening. We'll go to that. Once you see the logs, try to understand what's happening, and then open a defect. Check with the lead. I don't know if you're comfortable with the developer. Check with them, and open the defect. Okay, this is a part in a QA test. This is web services testing. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit typical. You're not really doing any functionality or something, but you're actually testing the web services here. Okay, by using this Wisdo. With this Wisdo here, web services description language. It's kind of endpoint. Here you call in browser, you call URL, right? See a URL here, it's called as endpoint. That's the only difference. Okay, so somebody asked us how to get this XML content. So this you really don't have to. Okay. Okay. So let me give you an example of this. Okay. Maybe I should have this. Oh, right. I should. Okay, that's good. We have this. So, I used to have this actually. It is okay, good. It's good. So this is a Wisdo. This is a Wisdo, right? I mean, this is sample. It's nothing to do with anything. But this Wisdo, this is how you get. And once you see here WSDL, okay, that means it's a Wisdo, web services description language. And you put it here and use this in SoapUI, and all this gets populated for you. Does it make sense? Okay, and then exactly for each application. So somebody asked, right? Does for each application there will be a Wisdo? Not necessary. Okay, not necessary, but it can be depend on how they are trying to use this. Okay. We discussed about interactive voice response. Yes, for that it will be there. Okay. For the front end, it will be also, there's nothing like front end for that, right? It's only the phone application what you're using, right? You're using some phone and you're pressing that number 1, 2, 3, right? For that, this is a Wisdo. Not necessarily all applications supposed to have this Wisdo. It's based on completing a project. Okay, and okay, so REST is also similar. REST is also similar with this. Most probably you will be using a different. Mostly the SoapUI also handles that REST application. So I guess it also does that too. See here. You have this option. Yeah, most probably you'll be having this REST tool here in the SoapUI. So that is also similar to what Wisdo you're having. Instead of Wisdo, you'll be having the REST, dot REST. So, okay. So, all right. So let's complete this. Okay, let's pretty quick here. So once you put this, you get a response, right? This is a response. So you want to see here what the response is, and is it failed, or is it, if it is failed, it's red color and says that server has a problem to execute it. And if you get that thing and you want to see this logs, okay, so you have to see this logs, and there are various logs here. Okay, SoapUI log, HTTP log, Jetty logs, error logs. You want to see at least error logs and 1 or 2 logs. Okay, memory log, which what's happening, what's memory. This logs explains a lot of things. Okay, not for just for developer, for you to and see how you can open defects if the response is failed, and see if you can able to open defects in that. And if you can see here, maybe you want to try to export this log and put in the defect saying that this, no, this is a log and this WSDL got failed. Okay, they might update the WSDL, or whatever the web services is, they might update it, or whatever the uh, issue is, they will resolve on this. Okay, so this is web services testing. So somebody asked it how to determine web testing is completed or not. So okay, so here's the thing. There might be more than one web services or two web services. You want to check out through these documents. Okay, if you have seen just documents, what does the document refers and how many web services are there. You want to do testing for all of those web services. Okay, once you have completed all of these web services, and you have to write test cases for that too. Okay, whatever you're trying to execute this and click on this, and response should be some specific or something which is there. Okay, once you have completed all those web services, then that means you have completed your web services testing. And you want to verify with this with your real application. If it is front end application, fine, go into see here and see the application is working or not. If it is something like IVR, so right, phone application, which you want to can be only verified through phone. Okay, that means go to that and navigate. You're calling that company and you're giving this all the information how the flow is moving. Okay, so all this you can cross, just like cross verifying it. That means this web services is passed, that's good, but we want to verify with this front end application that that it's also working, right? That's not it's not broken, right? So this is and this is actually a different thing altogether, but it's a part of this QA actually. Sometimes they might say QA, and they might tell you to test this, and as a matter of fact, this is also QA. So any questions so far? I mean, if you want to use this one, SoapUI is open source tool. Maybe you can download it. That's fine. Just and maybe you can try it. Try to add new web services. You have seen, right? A lot of them are free online. You can use any of this and try to run it and see the response and see what the logs are generated. And you have access to Rally. If you have found any defects, open defects, you can also do that. Yeah, pretty much. If you're using this, you can make use of it. So it's up to you. So, I mean, it's actually supposed to cover Kanban actually. So, since we are running out of time, okay, we'll just spend 2 minutes here. Try to understand this. So, there's one more tool actually, TFS. Okay, this is called Team Foundation Server. Okay, and that is let's see here. So that is from TFS is from Microsoft. Okay, and let's see. And unfortunately, I cannot give access for that because Microsoft has convoluted access. So what I can do is, if anyone is interested in TFS, send me an email, okay? So we can work, and we can create a separate subdomain there, and um, and you can be an administrator, and you can create your own project, so you can go from there. So let's see here. Okay, good. So you can create any Visual Studio. This Visual Studio from Microsoft, and okay. So this is again a test management tool. You have got a lot of test management tools, so this is no big deal. Okay. This is also similar. Okay. All the dashboards and stuff. But let's go pretty quick on so dashboard. So here we have all the things, right? Just create different and open different, all the same things. But the only thing is, this can be, good for Kanban process. Okay, because Kanban is kind of Scrum, right? Seeing the Scrum, right? Go to backlogs and see, go to board. It's not similar things, but here is the thing, right? You can move the board process. Remember the traditional board process, you're doing here, just move your task, put it here, okay, this cannot be resolved because it's not a bug, you can only close it. Okay? So that's how, similar to Scrum, but this is, you don't have a lot of meetings and a lot of things in Kanban. You just use this board, create here, you can create your board. Is it a bug? Is it a task? Okay, user stories, you're not going to create user stories, okay? And then move accordingly once you have completed. So, if anyone requires this access, let me know. Okay, this is something which I cannot give, but we can create an access individually, and you can be your administrator for this. Okay, so we can do that one. Okay, so any more questions? Need to install? No, you don't have to install this. You don't have to install any of this. I mean, for now you don't. You actually there is actually you have to install, but for this practice you don't really require it. But real time, yes, they might have some. By TFS administrator or someone else will be working on it to install that for your system. But as a for testing perspective, it's not really required. Okay, so we have one more class again. So we'll just close it here. Any more questions? So are QTP? So somebody asked the question, right? Is QTP and UFT same? Yes, same, different version. Okay, same tool, different version. UFT is, you know, actually HP made it UFT, Unified Functional Testing, from QTP. It was used to be QTP actually, and it was from Mercury. HP bought that both tools, not but three tools I think. They bought this Quality Center, made it into HPLM. They bought this QTP and made it into UFT, and they bought Loader too. Okay, so any more questions? Okay. If no questions, can we close this class? Okay. So I guess no, from Monday you will be having no ETL classes, right? From Monday you'll be having those ETL classes. Maybe you can go that one. Okay. And yeah. So, but again, you have to check. Check with Tagore. Those guys have the information. Okay. So, okay. Thank you guys, and good luck.